Hello, I am a photographer and I turn my photographs into art prints which I sell online. For the past year, I've been using print and ship companies to print and ship my art prints. But a few months ago, I decided to purchase a printer so I can take control of the sales process. And unfortunately, I purchased a Canon imagePrograf series printer. Now the unit I purchased is a Prograf 4600, which has a retail price of roughly $4,500. I also purchased a package that included ink, paper, and customer service for an additional $1,000. And once tax is rolled in, my total cost was about $6,000. Now the $1,000 package I purchased includes paper, ink, and customer service. And this sounded great because paper and ink are extremely expensive. And I've never used a printer this complex before. But none of these items were worth the money because I have been in possession of this printer for a week now. And do you know how many posters I've been able to print? 0. And why not? Because of many reasons which I will go into. Let's start by looking at the paper, ink, and customer service package that I purchased for $1,000. The roll of paper that Canon sent me was significantly damaged, and all that frayed and damaged paper you see is not some kind of protective covering for the actual paper. That is the paper. And about 1/3 of the roll that Canon sent me was damaged and needed to be cut off and thrown away before we could begin testing the printer. And not only did Canon send me a damaged roll of paper, the roll was only 42 inches wide, and this printer is 44 inches wide. So if I choose to continue using this printer, I'm just going to need to go out and buy a brand new roll of 44-inch paper. So as far as I'm concerned, the paper that I purchased from Canon is completely worthless. So thus far, that $1,000 package that I purchased from Canon has proved to be a bit of a ripoff. Now the ink that Canon sent me looked to be good during the test printing that we did. But while we were installing the bottles, I was informed that the ink that Canon sent me is basically in starter-sized bottles and they're going to need to be replaced very soon. So the second part of this $1,000 package I purchased also appears to be a bit of a ripoff. Now there's one more element of the $1,000 package that I purchased from Canon, and that is customer support. So how's the customer support going? Well, get comfortable because I am going to tell you how the customer support is going. Now normally when you purchase something online, you get a notification confirming your purchase and letting you know next steps, like when the item is going to ship. Even if you purchase something as cheap as a Snickers bar, you're still going to get a notification confirming the purchase and telling you what the next steps are. So you would think if you were buying a $6,000 item, you would get some kind of notification letting you know. But when I made a $6,000 purchase from Canon, I got a total of 0 notifications afterwards. I waited 24 hours to get some kind of notification, and when I didn't, I had to call them just to make sure they were actually going to send me the printer that I purchased. Now I did eventually get a purchase notification from Canon, but that was not until 17 days after I purchased the printer. The next step of the process was the only part of the process that has gone well, and that is the delivery of the printer. But the day after the printer was delivered, per the $1,000 customer support package that I purchased, a technician was supposed to come out and set up and test the printer. But no one ever came out. No one even contacted me to set up a time for the technician to come out. I had to call Canon 3 separate times just to get them to schedule a technician to come out. So finally, 4 days after the printer was delivered, a technician came out to set up and test my printer. But unfortunately, this printer is not able to print anything other than internal test charts, because in order for it to print a different document, it needs to establish a Wi-Fi connection. And after spending hours of trying to get it to connect to my router, it is not able to do it. Now I've got over a dozen items inside and outside of my house that are able to maintain a 24-hour-a-day Wi-Fi connection. The only electronic device I have that is not able to maintain a Wi-Fi connection is this $4,500 device. Now the tech spent 2 hours trying to get this connected to Wi-Fi, and when it couldn't, he said it's just part of the Wi-Fi bug. But that's not very comforting when you've just spent $6,000 on a printer package that doesn't print. So now the question is, will Canon actually do anything to get this printer working? I've contacted a couple people and we'll see what happens. And if you'd like to see how Canon responds, subscribe to this channel so you can see their response on my follow-up video on this whole printer debacle. Thanks for watching.